What's going on, everybody out there? Chris, the one and only true Dark Avenger, back here again with each and every one of you out of hibernation for this weekend special random video. Yeah, you could tell because I still have the beard and everything. I'm still in the caveman mode. I'm still hibernating. I'm still relaxing, enjoying the last couple of days of my summer break. But anyway, I come back to all of you now with this random morning stream-esque video to talk to you all about a couple of things that have been on my mind, a couple of things that have been happening this past week, and a couple of things in general that have been on my mind. It's all kind of interconnected. Now, I know a lot of you out there already are asking, Chris, why the random morning stream video? Why not do this on your main channel? Why are you doing it on this channel? And is this going to be a new series that you're doing? And to answer the first question of why, well, yeah, thanks, Lou. What he said. And to answer why I'm doing it on this channel instead of on my main channel is because 90% of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about in this video is comic related or within the comic book realm. There's actually only one topic outside of comic books that's in this video that I want to talk about, and I might actually make it a bit shorter and maybe expand on that as we get more information on that. But I did want to talk about it now as it's kind of fresh. This is one of those fresh topics. And as for if this is going to be a main new series, no. This is actually a random video. This will be going up in the morning. This actually will be premiering. This is live right now, so if you are watching this on Sunday morning, hi everyone. Unfortunately, I am probably dead asleep right now because I spent a good portion of the morning before crashing editing this video and making sure it got up by Sunday morning to be a morning stream. So anyone who's in the comments, thank you for being here. I do hope you leave some comments in the live stream. I will pop back in and check out how the live feed went and see what everybody has commented. Feel free to comment after this video premieres. After the video premieres, you're able to comment. And definitely let me know your thoughts on all the stuff I'm talking about here. That being said, also, before we get into the video, I'd like to also mention, don't forget to check out my main channel. I already mentioned that. Links to everything I'm about to mention are in that description right below. Or you can just check out shootingstaruniverse.com. Literally, just go up to that bar, type in shootingstaruniverse.com. It'll take you over to my website where you can find everything across the spectrum from social media, YouTube channels, Twitch channels, and more, all there on the website, and you can see everything I've been up to video wise. There haven't been that many posts. Like I said, I've been on a bit of a summer break. I did talk about what I've been doing on my summer break over on my main channel. If you'd like to check that out, you're welcome to. But like I said, all the links to everything they're in the description below, but you could also just go to shootingstaruniverse.com and it's all gonna be there for you, including this video. With all that promotion stuff aside, let's get into the stuff I want to talk about. And I'm going to talk about the one subject that has nothing to do with comic books first, and then we're gonna go into the next topic I'm going to be talking about. So recently, there were some leaked pictures for the PlayStation 5. And we recently found out that Sony was very upset about that because the photos were not actually fake. They were real. As a matter of fact, it was revealed that these were developer kits, or dev kits for short, for the PlayStation 5. So the pictures are very real, and Sony is very upset that they were leaked before they could reveal it themselves. It looks interesting. It looks like a makeshift... Again, I look at the Xbox One when I say this, but it looks like a VCR, kind of. It has a play button, a fast forward button, a rewind button, an eject... Well, obviously, because you're going to have it has the CD. It still has a CD drive, which is most important, and we'll get into that a little bit. But there is a sticker, and it's all across there's one sticker in the front and one sticker in the back, and it says, "Let's Go Digital." And this is, like I said, this is maybe a topic for a special, video just on PlayStation 5, but it goes back to where I think this is going to be the last generation of physical medium games, and we're going to be going into 100% digital at some point. And I feel like those stickers are an indication that at some point PlayStation 5 might actually go all digital. But there's rumors that the Xbox Scarlet, or Project Scarlet, will also be taking a similar approach where we'll be starting possibly with physical copies and then moving directly into digital. There's no stopping that. Even with comic books, comic book mediums are now in physical and digital format, where digital sales are actually doing a little bit higher at times than physical. The only thing when it comes to games is when it comes to the digital games, there's more manipulation that the game companies and developers can do, whereas if you have a physical disc, they can't. However, you can counter, and I will agree with you that with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One right now, the discs are glorified startup mediums. You end up downloading 90% of the game onto your hard drive anyway, and literally you just use the discs to start the game up. I had Sea of Thieves physically, and then I got the Game Pass for Xbox One. And now, basically, I don't even have to stick the disc in. All I have to do is hit the X button. Didn't involve installing any more of the game. Literally, because I got the Game Pass, I have the startup or the boot up activation code or whatever now in my system. So it literally just takes me right into Sea of Thieves, and it didn't even involve installing more of the game. So physical medium CDs right now are glorified startup or boot up discs, and then after that the disc isn't even used anymore, and 90% of the game is played on the console. And again, it goes to if your disc breaks, there's a whole back and forth about that again for PlayStation 5, but console looks interesting. It looks like a VCR or some type of a futuristic VCR Blu-ray player. I hope that because this was revealed, they'll change up the way it looks a little bit, because it looks weird in my opinion, but it looks like an interesting new console. Remodeling definitely. Again, I'm looking more forward to the new Xbox right now, but we'll see. We'll see when we get more information on the new Xbox, and this is the most we've seen from the PlayStation 5 yet, and Sony's not happy that we've seen it, so take that for what it's worth. But let's stay on the subject of Sony, and let's go into the next topic here. And we talked about this on Comic Frontline. If you'd like to see our topic time about it, we talked about Spider-Man leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe and being taken back by Sony. And Sony went under fire when this first happened. Stock for Sony dropped to almost nothing. They decided to go back into renegotiations with Disney because of the backlash on the fans and everything. And it's been a week now. It dropped early on in the week. We're on the weekend now. And honestly, you're seeing two sides. You're seeing the people who are still siding with Disney and Marvel saying, Disney, just go buy Sony Pictures or whatever, and just own Spider-Man and everything from them again, because, mouse money. And then there are the people that are on Sony's side saying, Disney's... I have a few friends that have said, Disney's unimaginative. They've kind of ruined... They feel Disney's ruined Marvel, that there's not much to the imagination anymore. There's nothing special. It's all kind of like a rut. Nothing new or spectacular. So Sony taking Spider-Man back is actually a good thing. But everybody's throwing their opinion in about this Marvel Marvel Studios versus Sony. But right now it looks like that's it. Tom Holland's... they want Tom Holland, but the Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is over. They did not reach a deal. And Sony actually released a tweet recently talking about that it might not have been about the money. It was about the director. They wanted a specific director, and he wasn't going to be staying on Spider-Man. Everybody's going to have their side of the story. I feel like both companies are at fault here. I'm not taking either side because I think both of them are stupid, because both of them are benefiting from the Spider-Man movie. So if Sony wants to be dumb and take it back, and Disney wants to be dumb and not reach a compromise, I feel like the only thing it's hurting is the Spider-Man franchise. It's hurting the Spider-Man movies. I will say this, other than the Tobey Maguire first two movies, I haven't liked a Spider-Man movie out of Sony since. Into the Spider-Verse was a different take with Spider-Man, and I enjoyed that. Venom was different, yet enjoyable. Would I say that it was the movie of the year? No. But otherwise, there's nothing out of Sony other than the first two Tobey Maguire live-action movies that has really caught my eye. Now you go into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I was always a little bit iffy about Iron Man being the one that created Peter's suit, but then we saw in Far From Home that Peter started to take charge now that Iron Man kind of isn't around anymore. But, there were little nitpicks about that when it came to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I like that they started him off as a kid so that he can grow up and we can see him in many more than just 3 movies, which is what Disney, I'm guessing, was planning. But obviously Spider-Man was going to be only a once in a while. They had a timeline. And I don't think they had another Spider-Man movie planned out yet because they had to work on the contract with Sony. I just feel like Sony getting this back, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see from Spider-Man, if we're going to see Spider-Man, because as long as Sony pushes out a Venom movie or a Black Cat movie or anything, technically that's from the Spider-Man franchise. That keeps Spider-Man with them once again for X amount of years before they have to produce another Spider-Man movie or else lose the franchise. So, I don't know. This is one of those things where, what do you think? Are you on Marvel's side? Are you on Marvel Disney, or are you on Sony's side? Do you think that Sony was wrong for pulling it out, or you think it's wrong that Disney wouldn't compromise? Do you think they're both idiots? Personally, I think they're both idiots. Both sides. Both. Will Disney end up buying out Sony? Probably not. They just bought Hulu and a bunch of other things, and Disney Plus is coming, and they made a bunch of new trailers and teasers for stuff coming up. By the way, speaking of that, we will be talking about that this coming week on Comic Frontline. So if you'd like to hear thoughts, my thoughts, and everybody from Frontline's thoughts on the Disney Plus app, all the new trailers that have been released, all the new shows that are coming out, tune in to Comic Frontline next week. We're going to be talking about it on there. So there is something to look forward to for next week for all of you. But going back to this, though, I truly and honestly think that Sony and Disney both together are dropping the ball. However, I am glad that Sony bought Insomniac Games. If not for Sony, I was hoping that Xbox might buy it and make Spider-Man a cross-platform game. We definitely as gamers did not want to see EA buy Insomniac, that's for sure. So a lot of people are very happy that Sony bought Insomniac. Again, it solidifies more of Spider-Man being Sony exclusive. So don't look forward to seeing Spider-Man on your Xbox console anytime soon, which is sad. But at the same time, Sony has Spider-Man. Moving out of that, let's go into some DC comic news this week. And spoiler warning, because we're going to get into some comic discussion territory for Batman 77. So if you didn't read Batman 77 yet, this is the part in the live show where you might want to pause it, come back when this is a video, and I don't want to spoil Batman 77 for everyone. It's already been leaked everywhere. Definitely come back after you read it. If you're not reading Batman 77, you don't care about spoilers, you're about to get spoiled. So I read Batman 7. I had a busy week this past week. Let me start off, let's precursor this week with that. From things I had to do all across the board, I've only had a chance to read 2 books. One book being where Deadpool is a unicorn, and if you know what I mean by that, you know what book I read from Marvel, and Batman issue number 77. The reason I read Batman 77 especially was because right after reading the Unicorn Deadpool book from Absolute Carnage, I dropped another hint, so now you definitely should know what book I read. A lot of people started buzzing about Batman 77, and I do read Batman still, so I made sure to be ahead of the curve and read Batman 77 next. Like literally an hour after reading the Deadpool book, I went straight for Batman 77. Number 1, I love the artwork in the book. Number 2, the things that I liked in the book a lot was that Catwoman got Batman back on his feet. The fight between Damian and his grandfather, and obviously Damian inevitably losing to his grandfather and then being brought back to Wayne Manor to see the gruesome death at hand because, and I'm sure I shared the picture already, because Bane kills somebody in Batman 77. Bane kills Alfred. Alfred's neck gets snapped by Bane. And that was the shocker of the book. That was the way they, they ended the Damian part of the book. And it was powerful. It was whoa. It was crazy. But again, that was the big moment that everybody was spotlighting and talking about because it's Alfred. This is Alfred. Never, and I didn't do my research and I should have. I don't believe in the main DC universe ever have we seen Alfred die. And again, I'm still saying that there's still that slight chance that, you have the Scarecrow running around, you have things that people, you have body doubles and everything. There's no 100% that was Alfred that died in front of Damien. It looked like Alfred, talked like Alfred. Maybe this was to break Damien. We don't know that 100%. I don't believe it happened until I see a grave and until I see the Batman series move forward without Alfred in it at all, where then I'll be like, okay, wow, Al is dead. He's gone. And then I'll believe it. But I thought this book was great. I loved it. And I loved the artwork inside. And then I ended up coming across what the variant cover looked like. And I'm like, damn, I like that variant. I have Comic Book Corner. I have a Batman book that I'd like to swap out with a new cover. I go online. I look up Batman 77. Not even 24 hours after the book was released. But I didn't think it would disappear. But I sat down for a couple of hours and I thought about it. And then I'm like, okay, fine. I'll get the variant. I'll put it on Comic Book Corner wall. It'll be cool, especially, when they disprove a few things that happened in the book. Whatever. So I go online and I look for it. Of course, variant sold out. This is transitioning, by the way. We're transitioning into the last piece of news, if you haven't noticed. Variant's gone. Okay. Variant's gone. Let's see if we can get the regular cover, because I still love the internal artwork. I love the book. I dropped Batman physically a while ago. I've been reading it digitally. Book sold out. Book's gone. Gone. Sold out. In less than 48 hours. Book's gone. Just dropped. Out of stock. Why? Why? Because Alfred is quoted dead. This could be a death book. So, of course, the sharks, the sales sharks out there smelled blood and bought every single copy of Batman. So I'm like, okay, let's look elsewhere. I mean, maybe it's somewhere else. Looked every comic shop sold out. So I go on Amazon. I go on eBay. I go everywhere. The cheapest copy of Batman 77 you can find right now is $17. And those are all gone. The cheapest now you'll probably find is about $20. I saw on Amazon somebody asking for $40. $40 for a book that just came out last Wednesday. $40 for one issue. Not a group of Batman 77, one issue. Just the issue for $40. Why? Because Alfred died. And I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh if all these people who bought it to sell for big money and don't sell it, and then in the next issue, or maybe 2 issues, maybe 3 issues, maybe the end of the event, we find out that Alfred isn't dead, that he's actually alive. And all of those issues go back to MSRP or lower, depending on how this event or this arc plays out. I will feel no remorse for anyone who bought 30 copies to try to sell for big money and actually now has lost money. But this is a problem, and I've noticed it all year long so far with several books. First, we had TMNT. I am the only one on Comic Frontline that reads Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, other than Michael, who's reading Urban Legend. I'm the only one that reads Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. With a lot of you out there, I know there's a handful of you out there that watched my reviews that also read TMNT. But damn, the moment it was revealed that Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz were introducing a new turtle, a brand new turtle, one turtle that you've never seen before, and it was going to be Jennica, and her first appearance was in issue 50, and she's turning into a turtle on issue 93, and, the whole how it happened starts in 93 and plays off until issue 100. Yeah, all of a sudden, magically, issue 50 disappeared off shelves. Even though it was already short on shelves because it was a 50th issue. But then issue 93 through to 96 all sold out every single week consecutively. Didn't impact me. I always pre-order my TMNT books because I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And yes, I have those books pre-ordered months in advance. But again, because it was a first appearance of a brand new turtle, every single book sold out. And guess what? Once again, you can go on eBay and Amazon and expect prices from $20 to $40 to $60 to maybe even $100. Why? Because it's a first appearance. Marvel Presents introduced yet another offspring of Wolverine, a daughter. And that book is out of stock. That book is going for a lot of money once again. Um, it's insanity, and I talked about it on social media because it annoyed me. I don't care. I read Batman 77. I could wait for the second printing. I could wait for the trade paperback. I truly and honestly don't give a damn, honestly. When I buy a comic book, it's because I love the book. I don't sit there and think about the value of a book. Or I'm not gonna lie, I have tons of valuable books in my collection. I have a lot of Death of Superman. I have a ton. I have a ton signed, different printings, first, second, third, fourth. I have a lot of Death of Superman. I have a signed Kevin Eastman TMNT book. And it's nice to say, hey, I have a valuable book in my collection. But will I go out of my way to pay $20 for Batman 77 or Marvel Presents issue number 4, I think it was? I don't have to worry about TMNT because I've already been collecting TMNT. But if I didn't collect TMNT, would I go crazy to get that book? No. I don't go crazy to have valuable books in my collection. I do it because I love the book. I still don't care that I missed out on Marvel Presents issue 4. It's another Wolverine child. Great. I read the issue, thought it was great, but I read it, and that's it. If I really wanted to have it as a physical medium, I get the second printing, I get the trade. I can't get Batman 77, I'll wait for the book to be, the death to be disproven, and then a billion different back issues will just flood into Midtown, and I'll get it that way. Or I'll wait for a second printing, or like I said, I'll wait for the trade. I don't really care about how valuable a book is. I care about how valuable the story is to me, as far as, did I enjoy this story? Will I want to go back and read it again? And do I want to support it physically? I already have it digitally. I just got to log into Comixology. Boom, it's there. But do I want a physical medium of it to have in a physical collection in case, God knows, maybe the internet dies one day? Yes. But I'll just get it physically later, some other means. But sales sharks are ruining collecting. They really are. And this again is why, and I said this on social media, why digital copies are doing so much better than physical. Because physical, who's going to go spend $20 for Batman 77, a single issue? I mean, some people might. And I'm not saying that the book sold out only to sharks. I'm sure a lot of people went on there to legitimately have the Death of Alfred in their collection. So I'm not saying 100% of the people that bought that book and made it sell out only wanted it to sell. I'm positive there are a few people, thank God, that got that book that just wanted it in their collection, to have it in their collection, and Godspeed on them for getting it in time before the book completely disappeared off the market. But again, it's frustrating, and it's something that we've seen in toys. I mean, Marvel Legends, I remember a group of people going in there, and before the employees even put the figures out on the shelf, they were buying the boxes that they were shipped in and taking them and selling them on eBay for twice, 3 times the amount of money. And I'm glad Marvel Legends got a bit smarter and released a bit more so other people like myself have a chance. But we've seen it with Funkos, convention, store exclusives selling out like that, and then you have to go pay quadruple the amount of money if you want them. Comic books, we've been seeing this. I've seen it all my life since I started collecting, and now even with video games, with the physical medium disappearing really quick. Fortnite, for example. Fortnite is a game that exploded, but that first disc that I actually ended up buying, the first disc, if you want a clean first disc, unopened and everything, that will run you a good $100. And the disc came out for only about $40. I remember paying $40 for the physical disc for Fortnite. But again, because it's a popular game, and because there's a lot of people that want it, that's what you're going to find. I could probably sell my disc for $100. Am I? No. That's another thing is, when I buy something for my collection, I'm not thinking about selling it. I don't give a crap about selling any of my stuff because I'm not going to do it. Never have, never will. When I die, my son can sell all my stuff if he doesn't want it. And if he wants to keep it, he can keep it. I don't care. I don't buy my stuff to plan to sell it or flip it later. I don't. I just don't. And if I have 3 copies of it, let's say I bought 3, that's because I wanted 3 copies. If I ever was desperate for money, maybe I'd sell the 3rd one. Would I sell the 2nd one? No. Would I sell the 1st one? Absolutely not. That's like an absolutely not happening. So, for me, it's like Death of Superman. So many... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not reaching it. Death of Superman. So many copies out there. So many. The value of it is almost 0 unless you have, like, I have Brett Breeding and Dan Jurgens' signature on it. But I don't care. I'm not selling it. I don't care how valuable it is with the signatures. And not even one more down. Dan Jurgens, Brett Breeding again signed. That's a first or second printing Death of Superman. Again, if you're reading comic books, read them because you love them and you enjoy them. Don't read them because they're going to make you money. Because 90% of them aren't going to... I've been saying 90% a lot in this live stream. Or this morning stream. Most of them are not going to bring you money. And most of them get disproven. This Death of Alfred, I'm calling it. It's going to be... And maybe I shouldn't call it, because then maybe somebody will see it and they'll be like, no, we got to make... I'm almost sure it's going to be undone, because you can't really truly kill Alfred. Alfred is a very important character in the Batman line. I mean, they tried to kill somebody else off, and then not even 2 issues later, we found out it was all in Bruce's head. Again, I don't know. And there's no solution. There really is no solution. I mean, the comic companies are making second and third printings of books so that people can have that physical medium, and I commend them. I know that next week, second printings of issue 96 are coming out for TMNT along with issue number 97. Thank you, IDW. And Marvel does it too. I've seen like 3 or 4 reprints of Marvel Presents. Good on you, Marvel, for doing that. Thank you. God, you guys are doing the second and third printings. Because if you weren't, most of us would end up just having digital copies. And I know DC's done it before. And I'll just sit and wait for Batman 77's reprint. No problem for me. But it's an issue, and it hurts people's enjoyment in the medium. And I'm sorry to anybody who missed out on it, who wanted a physical copy of Batman 77. You're not alone. I don't have one either. But maybe one day it won't matter. And maybe one day people will actually limit how many books you can buy from a shop. But, you know, people always find a way around that. And I've ranted about this long enough. But that was the topic. Between that and the Batman news, I kind of wanted to talk about those two things. And then the PS5 news dropped. And I wanted to expand a little bit more on my thoughts with Spider-Man and Sony, since we were talking about the PS5. So that was the morning stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. As I'm recording this now, I'm going to go edit it. If you're watching it, I'm probably dead asleep from editing and recording this. I hope you enjoyed. Again, these are random. I can't promise you when the next one's going to be. If the next one's going to be. They're going to be sporadic. They're going to be spur of the moment. Honestly, this was going to be spur of the moment last night, but it got too late and I ended up crashing. But today, it was semi spur of the moment. Yeah. No, it was more planned this time around, but normally they'll be spur of the moment, so I can't promise you if or when you'll be seeing another morning stream. I can promise you it won't be live, because most of the time I'm asleep early in the morning, because sleep need. But yeah, so look forward to the next one soon. Also, I will be doing a video on this soon, but Celestial Falcons Kickstarter, we have dates for everyone. September 17th through October 8th, we'll be doing the Celestial Falcon issue number 1 deluxe edition. More pages, more story, new cover, all Kickstarter, and we're going to have a lot of rewards and tiers and awesome stuff planned for Kickstarter. So I hope you all are around. I'll make another video talking about this, because I'm sure most of you are already starting to click off the video. I'm excited. You'll be seeing a video about this sometime next week. I'll be doing a video about the release dates, what I'm going to be doing. I won't tell you all this now, but I am planning something before and after the Kickstarter launches, and as we move forward with the Kickstarter, I'll discuss that and talk about that more in the next one. So thank you all for being here for this morning stream. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, keep reading, keep collecting as much as you can. Don't let the sharks ruin this medium for you, and yeah, until the next one. Later, everybody.